It's a delight to know you're still here. And of course, if you're just tuning in, it's your premium news and current affairs program reaching you live from our Lagos Network Center on the ITV network. I am Joshua Okata. And of course, as always, I have my co-anchor in the person of Patricia Gabriel. Pat.
Hi, Josh. Thank you for joining us on ITV this morning on TMI on a Monday morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning here in Lagos.
All right, for us to get the ball rolling on the program this morning, our focus would be on the creation of states with respect to the move by certain members within the National Assembly and, of course, the State Assembly legislating for the approval of additional states within the southeastern region. But of course, the questions are, what is the reason behind this move? And of course, considering the fact that the southeastern region has had 5 already existing states. And what are the factors, constitutionally speaking, that would be required for an additional state? And what are the importance this would serve for the new states that will be coming on board if this legislation is approved? And of course, at large, the 5 eastern region. These and many more would form the basis of our roundtable discussion this morning. And of course, we're being joined by our guest in the person of Ziggy Ibe, who is a political affairs analyst. Good morning, Mr. Ziggy, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you
Good
for
morning,
having
Mr. Ziggy.
me. Thank you, Patricia, for having me.
All right, now let's get the ball rolling. The conversation around state creation has been on for a while, and this is not the first time we're seeing some senatorial individuals. I'm talking about senators from different regions, both in the National Assembly and, of course, the State Assembly, pushing for the creation of new states across the 6 geopolitical zone. Just recently, we had a senator from the Red Chambers in the person of Senator Ned Nwoko, who was pushing for the creation of a state, within Delta State, and looking at Anyoma in particular was a state he was pushing for a new creation. Now we're seeing some senators who are also legislating for a creation of new state within the southeastern region. What's your take as regards the reason behind all of this move? Is there something at stake?
Thank you so much. The creation of new states doesn't excite me, just like it doesn't to so many. Yes, if you did that, you are balancing the record on the table, which is giving the Southeast 6 states as we speak, so that it could equate or equal to other regions. But what readily comes to my mind is the advantages. What do we get when states are created? The existing ones, are they viable? Because it is not all about creating a state. It doesn't excite me. What excites me is the derivables, the dividends of democracy to the people. Because when a state is created, a caliphate is created and people live there. So will they enjoy it? Are we still, because the players are still going to be the existing political individuals. And these people will be drafted to man the affairs of things there.
You mean those who are legislating for it will be drafted to go man those
No, not
regions?
necessarily, but the politicians within the corridors of power certainly will become the governor. They become the House of Assemblies. They become the reps.
Same people.
Same people. Same people.
So are we saying
and
that
when
this
they
is for
come
a
in,
selfish reason?
I didn't say so. I've said it. One reason is to balance the record on the table. That's one reason, which everybody clamors for. But I am bothered, personally, that I hope the reason for which these states are created will be given to the people. Because the primary need of every individual that will fall under these states is to get governance closer to the people. So, and if these people are not getting the necessary or the required needs from the government, then the failure is here. I'm not seeing it a failure from the morning. I
Yeah.
am not. But I am looking at, I hope it's not going to be job created for the boys again. Okay, because Southeastern region is 5 states as we speak, making it the least region in the federation, right? Now, when additional one is created, you are having 6, equating to others. But other ones are still asking for more. Meaning that when most are created, when other states are created in other regions, Southeast still remains the least.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there? So the issue now is when a state is created or more states are created, what we need is to have the viability of the environment. Because it is about leadership, not about creating a state. If you put in a leader who doesn't know his onions, then you're in trouble. Why is Marwa today leading in so many of the things he has done in Lagos? When he came, he found out that commutation in Lagos is in deficit. He created Marwa because access roads were not accessible. Some other places that are commutable are no longer commutable. So what he did was to think out of the box and created Marwa, brought in three-wheeler that could access hinterlands. Today, that leadership trajectory had outlived him. So these are the kind of leaders we want that will actually bring it. Because whether you like it or not, when a new state is created, there are certain problems. That state will certainly pass through a lot of challenges. Here is new, there is new, and every other.
So we're going to look at those challenges.
Yes,
in
we'll
the
look
course
at the
of time.
challenges.
Yeah.
Mr. Ziggy, thank you so much. You have just said that when a new state is created, it's expected that, they get to the people, not for the boys. Yes. Okay, so I am of the opinion that why is a state being created now? What has changed to give momentum to this push? Why did they decide to want to create a state now?
Look, whether you like it or not, it's political. Yes, it's political. In as much as the region wants it, it's political. And don't forget, whether you like it or not, it's still the job for the boys. Oh, yes. Because you are not going to have spirits who will become governors. You are not going to have spirits who will become house reps. You are not going to have spirits who will become local government chairman. Okay? But I am worried, and I've stated that earlier. My worry isn't about creation of states. It's just like you are creating more trouble, solving a problem.
Okay, now let's talk about solving the problem, because already you've analyzed this issue of you're not being too passionate about the issue of creation of state. Now, where the issue comes in is our scarce resources. Already Nigerians across board are worried because the scarce resources we have is not even enough to get to
For the existing states.
for the existing states. Now we're talking about the creation of a new state, which I'm very sure the conversation about creation of other states within the 6 geopolitical region is still on. Now, are we going to be looking at a situation if a new state comes on board to make it 6 to the southeastern region? Are we going to be having a situation of, overstretching the scarce resources that we have to cater to the existing states that we have to now be sharing with the southeast? Is that what we're going to be having?
Of course, yes. If a new state is carved out of an existing state, the monthly allocations will be trickled because the existing state will not have so much as it used to have because the new state has to share from it. The government at the center is burdened financially. So at this point, if, for instance, 1 billion naira is earmarked for the monthly allocations of a particular state, and the state is carved out of it, certainly 3 factors or 4 factors are what determines what states gets. You talk about landmarks, you talk about population, you talk about the IGR of the internally generated revenue of that very particular state, and some other factors. Now, the new state, a starting state, a baby state, certainly wouldn't be talking about IGR, okay, because it has not existed before. So, any other thing, it has to be helped in order to start off. So, to jumpstart a new state into doing some other things, it is a burden from the center.
Okay, now
then the new state, the existing state, will now have the resources it had earlier divided to be shared by the new state, because the new state will be created out of maybe either one or two states. Then the local governments too. So individuals involved in all this will certainly will create the sharing formula will be created.
Okay, so
that brings me to
ahead.
this question, since you say to be created from maybe one or two states. And do you think the affected communities are carried along, or are they in support of this new creation? Or you think it's just, like you said, political, they're just doing their thing?
In legislating this, they will tell you they want to have town hall meetings to actually get the minds of the people, how they feel about it. Yes, you are talking about high thinking now. It's going to be a critical thinking, a forward thinking that would actually tell you the state you are creating. You know, people will be excited ordinarily because they are going to have new, what's it called? New positions will be created. People will get more jobs and other. But there's more to it. The more to it here is that the people that are involved in manning the affairs that will be available in the new states will have little or nothing to get for the rest of the years that will form this their teaching problem. Okay, because if money comes in, the people that are going to mind, they are not spirits. It is these self-same politicians who are highly corrupt that will take it up, and the money given out might be shared, might be edited even before it gets to people that are needed this. So, like I told you, the excitement here isn't about creating new states for me. It is about, will the purpose for which this new creation is made, will it be achieved?
Okay, so now what do you think could be done, especially with the challenges of creating a new state? Like you said, one of those issues you talked about in terms of the factors that could warrant, you know, the sharing of the FAC accounts that usually come on a monthly basis is on the basis of the land mass,
population,
of course, the population size, and
the
internal
Nigeria,
revenue.
yeah.
You would agree with me that there are some states within, you know, the federation that only exist by means of being on paper in terms of revenue generation.
Yes.
Yet, what is the likelihood that some states that do not have much revenue but have that population will not be kind of struggling with states that are also generating so much and want that same allocation to get to them for the purpose of proper representation?
You look, even as we speak, the viability of so many states are in doubt. Okay, and if you created a new state from those states that are not real viable, then you are creating more problems for those existing states and the new ones. Because government can only give what is available to it.
So are you saying that there won't be an agitation? Let's take, for instance, some southeastern region attacked Niger Delta because they generate oil within that state. Are you saying that there won't be some sort of agitation, sharing resources with some states that do not even generate up to 10% of what they get?
That shouldn't be looked at, because as we speak, no state is carrying other states along.
Because that's the
what
issue.
what they do is that when you generate, you take it to the center shares. Okay?
When
and
they
center
feel
is
cheated,
gonna,
that's what I'm saying. Because we're talking about marginalization.
yeah, whether cheated or not, the issue remains that you definitely will get what you deserve. So it's not going to be shared on the basis of we are newly created. I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not going to be shared because we are newly created.
No, but
these 3 or 4 factors will certainly come in. It's a two to share. So the issue remains that they will look at your population, they will look at your
Land mass.
land mass, and other factors. So after it, they come up with what is due for you.
Okay, now let's talk about what goes into play, especially when issue of a new state creation is up on the game. Now we're looking at the participation in terms of the block of votes required from the National Assembly and the State Assembly. What's the vote like in terms of the numbers that is required to push for this to be approved?
Look, so far,
yes,
the voices are high for the new creation. Everybody had lamented the paucity of states in the southeast region, meaning that they wanted it equal, so that the sharing formula could be equal to all the regions. That has been accepted, and so many people in the National Assembly has agreed to give the southern region.
So how much are we expecting to get from the National Assembly in terms of the votes and that of the State Assembly?
Certainly we'll have a high vote from the National Assembly. And when a referendum is conducted, certainly it will be 18.
Okay. So are we looking at a situation of a 2/3, as the case may be, from the House of the National Assembly?
Certainly, yes.
And that of the State Assembly?
Yes, certainly, yes.
Okay.
It will be a win-win thing.
Okay.
Everybody had accepted it, and everybody agitated for it. And which I am saying that the agitation is right, creation is right, the nod is equally right. But do we look at the disadvantages that will certainly occur? And so many had said, just like on program yesterday I was on, and somebody said, look, let it come first. And that has always been the problem we have. We don't look at the issues
if I can ask you, what are the disadvantages you are looking at?
The disadvantage is that the people will not get what they want for a long period of time. They will not. Because the government at the center will not share in favor of a new state. They will share based on what is available to the new created states. And they will still bring in the factors. There's indices. So fact sharing is not going to favor because it's a new state. I don't think so.
So when it comes to the issue of creating a new state, now it's no longer going to be for proper representation. It's going to be based on the limited resources.
Yes.
Okay, so can those who would preside over that new state, I'm talking about the governors, the house of the chairman, the local government councils and all that, can they begin to start looking inward as to how much revenue they can generate?
Yes, that
having to rely.
Good. That will take a little time. That will take a little time. If you have leaders who are fast or forward thinking, it takes a critical thinker to actually bring up what the state, the new is a baby, is a new baby, so it needs care.
Let's take Anioma State, for example.
Good.
Because that's the one I know that Ned Nwoko is pushing. And
they are pushing for other states too, from Enugu State.
Okay, so like you said, if we had Anioma State, the Southeast would be 6, just like every other. Why are they now pushing for more other states? Because they will still...
Even as we speak, from the National Assembly, they've pushed for more 5 states, including the is it approved now? The 1 state from the Southeast. But you see, the Southeast has been in the front burner for a long time because that region had not got a state. But the viability, we don't think of the viability of that state, of existing states, because the states are not viable. Most times, at the end of every month, all the state governors go to Abuja, cap in hand, to collect what is due for them. And they don't do any other thing again until the next month.
Next month, yeah.
So is that the same? That's the same thing the new state is going to be grappling with. So you see the challenges? So now the new state is not coming from somebody from nowhere. Yes, he knows the game already. But he is going to suffer more because what is existed in the other states will still be the same thing that he will be having. So at the end of the day, a week or two, he has finished his own resources, sharing it to those who are close to him, and that is the end until the next month. Then he goes cap in hand again to Abuja. But you see, what matters here is, do we have forward-thinking leaders who will actually look inward. No state in Nigeria is not viable if actually the governors want to really work. No state. No state. Take it. In fact, in Enugu, my state, it happened about, during Sullivan, a new commission was created. And that commission made so much amount of money. I wouldn't call it name.
But what area? What
commission was created?
Within the state. Within the state.
Yes. If you want to let us know.
Okay, I think it's called access or something. They were saddled with sanitation something or something.
Okay.
Environmental something.
Okay.
And they made so much. I think they've retained it now. You understand? Even in Oshun, is it Oshun, Fayoshe, during stomach infrastructure thing, it became a commission too. Stomach infrastructure. Fayoshe eventually went, even in Imo State.
I think Rochas
created
one.
Minister of Joy.
Happiness.
Good. Where the daughter was, and it worked. You understand?
But is it work?
How did it work?
Of generating
the issue remains that governance is about linking up with the people. You understand?
Okay.
And when it was created, people were happy going there
going there for arms or what?
No, going there for goodies of the democracy. Now in what's the Eno, the governor of Akwa Ibom, right?
Yeah.
He created what's it called? Saturday enjoyment something.
Friday
enjoyment something.
So how do you think this bring revenue to the states?
No, look.
When you about how to make a state viable.
Yes, but you still talk about how to make the people happy.
So
yes, because democracy is about when you saddle someone to making something happen, he would think critically to bring about the revenues that will satisfy the people. It might not necessarily taking it from the government coffers. It might be look, which I'm trying to remember the state that tax the individual at one in Imo State. Is it Achike Odenwa or something? Who built the Imo airport? How did it happen? Imo airport was contributed by the people. It was built by the people. It was built by the people. During this democracy, Achike Odenwa or something.
But here we'll be talking about
how
the
to
building
make
of an
the
airport.
state.
But yet, how many of the people within that state use that airport?
No, that is not the issue. The issue is that
I don't know if you understand.
Yes, the people that were taxed were happy doing it. And what is the gain after that airport was established? What was the gain? It might not be necessarily asking those people to go through that airport and all that.
But Mr. Ziggy,
yes.
A new state will not want to create such commissions of enjoyment or what?
Well, I'm not in their thinking. I'm not in their thinking. But the issue remains that each time a state is forward thinking, the governor has one or two things to look inward and bring out. And that is how so many viable states are being. In Lagos here, the dump site at Ojota, I've learned they've created another one. Do you remember that dump site was even a menace? It was pandemic at a point. But somebody remembered that there need to be a recycled machine, and it was created. Do you understand? Today, that recycled dump is generating over how many billions? It doesn't matter whether an indigenous is going to man it or not. But travel, find out what your state can do in order to generate money. Because whether I like it or not, the money still comes from the people.
And this it's also benefiting the people.
Yes,
so
it comes from the people. The people
thing.
benefit from it. And the moment something is created, even though the people might contribute, and they are beneficiaries of the same issue, of the same gesture, they don't complain. They are happy with it. The airport we are talking about, whether you like it or not, those who contributed were having people who travel through that airport. And they're happy. Today, they are proud that that airport is ours because they contributed.
Okay, right, let me quickly ask you this. Right. Do you think there will be a major obstacle or bottlenecks on the way of creating this state?
Oh, certainly, yes. Some people will kick against it. Maybe those who will think it's not beneficiary to them. But it's about what will I gain if it is created? We're in Nigeria. That wouldn't be ruled out. Some people will want to, what do I gain? Let me push against it. Okay,
now, so talking about those who might push against it, it might be for partisan cases,
Yeah.
especially when, okay, you come in for the legislation and approval of a new state, whereas you are in the opposition.
Yes.
So would that in some way play out? Because we have Benjamin Kalu, who has been very vocal about, you know, when it comes to
he sponsored
balancing,
it.
state balancing. So he sponsored that bill.
it. Yes.
Okay, so are we likely to have a person like Benjamin Kalu now who might be saying, well, I'm pushing for this thing for the southeastern region, but a state like Abia now is in the opposition. So how would that play out? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
All
This
right.
is political.
Okay.
Okay, it's political, and there might be this issue of come and accept what I introduced. Okay, but then because it is a region, it's a block thing.
Yes.
Not statewide thing.
Yes.
Okay, so Abia State, I don't think they've in the recent past agitated for a state being created out of it. Okay. We are talking about creating a state that will make up balancing. Okay, so wherever it is created from might not matter to a particular state or a state governor now. I don't think so.
I'm talking about those in the red
But
chamber
certainly
and
everybody will not accept such creation now. It's not possible. Kanu certainly would Benjamin Kalu
Yes.
certainly would have some stumbling blocks from his colleagues who have their own reasons too. Because in the northern state where you have 19 states, okay, before they were created, there were stumbling. So anything legislative in the red, both red and the
State Assembly.
Yes. So certainly there will be those who will be opposing it.
Yes.
Maybe for reasons best known to them, they might not see reasons a sixth state should be created, whereas some other states in the northern region are having it is still 6, but southeast is still the least, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
So they are still need for it.
Quickly, because of time. Yes. If this bill is passed and the state is created, do you think they will have they will have a relationship? What kind of relationship do you think we'll be having with the neighboring states where the states are
Why
created
not?
from?
You see, I talk about viability. If I were in the sense of those who are pushing this, I would want to create more viable areas like road network. As we speak, if you drive from Enugu to Port Harcourt, it takes you how many hours? The travel hours are high. And not only that, in so many other states.
But unfortunately,
so
these guys will not use the road. So how would they think towards that?
Well, it's unfortunate. But the issue remains that, what about if you had a governor who thinks out of the box, who is forward thinking, who will certainly will look inward? Because like I said earlier, every state is viable. Depends what the governor wants to do with the availabilities of the natural resources in his state. Because every state in Nigeria is endowed both in human and natural resources. Until so many of these governors begin to think out of the box, then create new commissions. Because as we speak, there are limited commissions that oversee all this. And what they do is that because we get money at the center, there might not be need for us to work much as we need to do. But if some states are starved of finance,
yes,
they should look. Just like necessity is the mother of
I guess we're pressed for time. Thank you so much, Mr. Zigibe, for giving us your 2 cents on this very heated topic, talking about state creation. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's the much we'll be sharing with you from our Lagos Network studios.